Come along with me this week to plan meals as a busy mom. So the first thing that I do is open up Google Docs and create a new document, labeling it weekly meals or plan for the week, just to kind of keep myself organized. And then you can see I put the date being this week, March 9th through the 13th. And then it's more visually appealing if you have a table. So create a table and then have rows and columns corresponding to each meal. So I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks / dessert. Snacks can be like granola bars that I make, or like muffins or cake, anything. So they all kind of go into that category. Put them on the left hand column, and then the remaining columns is where I start to fill in meals that I'm planning for to make. And then this also makes building out a grocery list a bit easier as well. So as you can see, I've got like eggs with spinach and some herbs. So herbs for me could be parsley, cilantro, maybe some thyme. If I go to a local market, it might look a little bit different. So there's variety there given what's available and what's fresh. And then as you can see below the table, I've started to build out what this grocery list could look like based on the corresponding meals that I'm planning. So a couple things there include what I just mentioned in terms of the herbs. Always having like lemon on stock is really good for topping foods, as well as just to put in like warm water. I like to have that in the morning. Of course, I've got eggs there, spinach. So things on the list are very much corresponding with the meals that I'm planning. And then you'll see I put a little bit, or a consideration section. This just means that I'm considering things that are on the organic side of things, and or ethically sourced, to try to reduce as much toxins as possible. Right now I'm scrolling to find produce that is in season. This is the North Carolina fruit and vegetable availability by month, so it's color coded. So for example, apples right now are not in season during March, but collard greens are, lots of herbs are, peanuts, don't really eat that, but spinach is, sweet potatoes are. Yeah, so you can see based on the color code what's in season, and then I can reference that as I'm continuing to build out the plan. So I toggle back to Google Docs and continue building out what produce I will get from the store based on what's in season and add that to the list. So I've added in the sweet potatoes, collards, asparagus, and kind of just filling in this matrix a little bit more. Another meal that I might make is salmon with asparagus and sweet potatoes. That's a really good protein, kind of complete meal there. Sweet potatoes are really good for you. Lots of good nutrients. Chia seed pudding. This is something I think that I made for the first time in a while this week. And that's a good like go-to dessert / snack, or even like a pick-me-up in the morning before I make breakfast, depending on how hungry we are. So basically I'm just going back and forth to reference both of these documents so that I am intentional about building out this meal plan. And then next I'm adding stuffed pasta with mushrooms. And then a like cheese-based sauce, so like an Asiago or a Romano cheese, probably Asiago. Tastes a little bit better. And then always adding in some greens, even with like breakfast items, adding in some greens, lunch items, adding in greens. Dumpling lasagna is the other thing that I do is scan my cookbooks and inspiration magazines to maybe see what recipes I might want to try for the week. So we have this crock pot cooking book that I might look to for inspiration, and I organize it by like protein types, so beef, pork, and lamb up at the top, and then you have maybe some chicken items or soups and sauces, fish and seafood. So I might scan this based on whatever protein I might have in the freezer, and then oh, that's sticky. And then I have the Thrive Healthy Living Made Easy booklet here. And so there's just different recipes in here that I might go to for like snacks, granola bars. If I need some inspiration in terms of breakfast, because we know how redundant breakfast can get, I'll look in here for those. Some gluten-free options in here as well. Shashuka. Lots of things. Crusted halibut. Shrimp and flour grits. I think one thing I saw was like some sort of curry. Like a coconut curry. I don't know where it went. But anyway, that might be one of the things that I make for... Oh, it's coconut, ginger, cod, and lemongrass coconut broth. So I might do something like this later this week. And yeah.